What's up, action takers, the community of doers? I hope you're doing fine. Week 8, episode 8, 52 weeks. Here we come. That's our first milestone. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at changes. Having said that, today I want us to look at two words that if you understand those two words very well and you apply them accordingly, they put you at a very high advantages in your relationships, in your conversations with people, and more inherently, just understanding where people are coming from within the confines of any situation that you might find yourself in. I would like to kindly request you to subscribe to this YouTube channel as we continue to build this community of like-minded individuals that believes in personal development as the cornerstone of our lives. Now, the two words that I want us to look at are perception and perspective. Let's look first at the definition. What is perception? Perception is your interpretation of the world according to you, or it's how you see the world according to you. Now, there is a unique thing about perception, is that your perception is only unique to you. How you interpret the world according to you is only unique to you. The other word is perspective. Now, perspective is the contrary of perception. Perspective is looking at the world outside yourself, looking at situations as a third party, outside looking in, compared to looking it inside yourself, looking out, which is unique to you. Now, where are those two perspectives very important to understand, and how do they put you at an advantage? Now, the fact that your perception is only unique to you, that's why people find themselves arguing with one another in different aspects. Because everyone is trying to make the other person understand their perception. So you're pushing on your perception, the other person is pushing on their perception. Now, you're arguing because you will never see the world the same. And not until one of you gets out of his own self and start looking at that situation outside looking in, or sit across himself and consider your perspective, that probably you can come to a common ground. The fact that perception is how we see the world according to ourselves, what then influences ourselves, of what influences us to see the world a certain way? What are those things that forms how you see the world, or that influences you to see the world in a certain way? One of them that is, I'm going to look at 5 things that I think influences how you see the world. The first one, which is very important or very profound, is past experience. Your past experience influences how you see the world. And that's why the experiences that you go through life with are very, very important, because they are going to inform how you interpret the world according to you. The other thing is your education, your formal and also informal. So that's why you find that a person who is educated interprets the world from a completely different place compared to a person who is not educated. So I think we are drawing some very important conclusions from there. The other one is your cultural background. Of course, that's where people from different cultures, of course, because they have different belief systems, therefore automatically they're going to see the world from a different standpoint. The other one is socio-economic status, which is also a very, very big influence. That's why you find that people from well-up background, they really have limiting beliefs on what they can accomplish because their environment informed a perspective of abundance in the confines of their upbringing. But a person who has probably by chance been brought up in a humble background, they've seen those limitations within their environment. Those people are going to look at the world very differently. One from a point of abundance, the other one from a point of scarcity. And the reason why this is important to know is for you to address these influences that influenced you. So probably you've been seeing the world in a way that was influenced by your past experience and upbringing that makes you become limited to what you can achieve. So you can go back and address these things so that you can create the right perception, the right interpretation of the world according to you that can allow you to advance in your personal life. The last one is psychological state. I can't emphasize this enough. I've said time without number that you will never rise beyond the quality of your thoughts. So you have to change your mind for you to be able to change your life. And it is because of this. Your own psychological state will influence how you see the world. And what we mean specifically in this is the information that you consume, the understanding of the world, your world view. You have to broaden your worldview as much as possible. Put knowledge in capacitate yourself with knowledge as profound as possible. Don't be lazy in learning. The more you input knowledge in yourself, you influence directly how you see the world. And how you see the world becomes your reality. I hope you can see how that connection is very, very critical. And while learning and continuous advancement of your knowledge and your psychological state is so inherently engraved to how your life turns out. Because it's the knowledge that you input in your life that improves your psychological states, that therefore influences your perception, and your perception becomes your reality. Now, to finish on that, we say to change yourself effectively, we first change our perception. I can't emphasize that enough. And that's what influences your perception. So rethink those influences for you to be able to understand why you see the world the way you see it, for you to be able to make deliberate changes on how you see the world, which is going to allow you to have, or is going to allow you to experience a different reality guided by your perception. Now, why do I think when you're interacting with people, perspective puts you at an advantage compared to perception? This is the reason. When you are engaging on a certain situation and you look at that situation outside looking in, or even of most important, you sit across to the person who is opposite of you and you start thinking about what is their life like. What do they feel about the situation that you're in or the conversation that you're having? How is their growing up? How is their circumstances surrounding that situation that you're talking about? Now you are able to think like them, and guess what? That puts you at an information advantage. Because now you're thinking like them, which puts you at an information advantage. You can be able now to see this thing from a broader perspective. And that's how you win when you're having those conversations. You can be able to outperform people because you can be able to go beyond yourself and look at things from their own perspective, giving you an information advantage. Now, as we run about our days, or as we go about our business, I'm putting this challenge to you to go beyond your own perception and look at things or look at situations from other people's perspective. It allows you to be empathetic, which is something that is very profound, and also it gives you, or it puts you at an information advantage which can allow you to win in most cases. I don't want to over-explain this, so I'll leave it at that. Don't stay too much on your own perception. Allow yourself to explore other people's perspective. One, for you to understand them and for you to be empathetic, and two, most importantly, which is an advantage to you. So this even calling you to consider it very much, the information advantage that you get over them by seeing the things from where they sit instead from where you sit. So as you go about your business, please consider exploring perspective and not entirely your perception. I hope that helps. Always show up and see you at work.